split flow patterns. If the 500 millibar downstream matrix is right, and you go, all your positions are in place there, and everything's set up there, the split flow pattern, the best chances are seeing sex, mex, or hex. Significant major East Coast snowstorm. Special rule number 1 with the split flow patterns, the short wave in the subtropical jet has a negative tilt by the time it reaches the Mississippi Valley or 90 degrees longitude, like I mentioned before. If it reaches neutral before 90 degrees longitude, again, over Texas, western Texas, over Kansas, over Colorado, New Mexico, that is actually favorable for the Ohio Valley track. So, and then second rule, the short wave in the subtropical jet becomes negative by the time it reaches the Appalachians. Again, just because it's neutral by the time it reaches the Delta doesn't mean it's going to be negative by the time it reaches the Appalachians. So it just puts you in the ballgame. So special rule number 3, even after all of this, if the 500 millibar matrix is not corrected, if it's not correct, even if you've got your short wave trough and your southern stream and a split flow taken, they're right, hitting all the marks. It's neutral by the Mississippi River, becomes negative over the Appalachians. If your downstream stuff is not correct, you're still going to have a track that's going to go inland. So it can get complicated. There's a lot of aspects to it. If there's no 50-50 load, you're likely to get your phasing early, you're likely to get an inland track. And if there's no negative NAO, but you do have a 50-50 load is in place, then you've got a coastal track, which will mean heavy snow going over the rain. That's your tendency for that sort of thing. The 850 low. The 850 low track is everything. That's the ballgame right there. The special rule number 1. Closed 850 lows are better than open ones. And if you close 850 low with like 1 or 2 contours around it as it's moving through North Carolina, Virginia, that's even ideal. What you don't want to see is you don't want to see the 850 low bomb out over Raleigh. Because what happens is that floods everybody with warm air. You don't want to see bomb out over Richmond. It always bombs out over Richmond, but I'm saying it floods everybody with warm air. So now once it reaches the coast, you want the bomb out when it reaches the coast. So it's kind of tricky. You want a moderate 850 low moving through North Carolina, Virginia, and then you want it to bomb out when it reaches the coast. That's your ideal situation. That's what you're looking for. Now, special rule number 2. It does not matter how cold the 850 temperatures are over any location in the I-95 corridor. The 850 low tracking over to the west will always change you over. Always, without fail. January 1966, the Great Blizzard, January 1966, 850 temperatures, 48 hours before the start of the event in New York City for minus 22 Celsius. And it went over to rain. If your 850 low is going to the west, you'll make. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to get heavy snow out of it. But you'll go over. Okay. 850 low. Models always overdo the 850 cold air at 800 and 700 millibars when the 850 low tracks to your west. Always, without fail. Invariably, once you get close to the event, the short-range models will show rapid warming. So you'll go, wow, the 850 low is over Charleston. And I'm like, -8 snow. Okay, now it's over Pittsburgh, -5. It's over Buffalo, +3. So that's what that means. So now, idealized, if you look at all 33 cases in the coastal Uccellini cases, at 36 hours approximately, there are variances to the approximately. Ideally, Boston's around -12 at the start of the events. 36 hours. LaGuardia is -10. Philadelphia -8, DC -5, Richmond, who cares? 24 hours, -10, -8, -6, -3, Richmond, again, who cares? There you go. I knew it. This will be on the snowstorm checklist as well. This is a new thing I developed. 3 different areas, essentially 80 degrees, 75, and then 70. So what we're going to be doing here is doing the snowstorm checklist. We're going to be tracking where the 850 low crosses these points. Point number 1. Lost the battery. There we go. So north of Erie, between Erie and Pittsburgh, between Pittsburgh and Roanoke, between Roanoke and Charlotte. And then point number 2, which is essentially 75 longitude. North of Albany, between Albany and New York City, Atlantic City, Salisbury, Virginia Beach, and then Virginia Beach, Hatteras, and south of Hatteras. And then finally, where it clears the 70-degree longitude line. So in other words, let's suppose you have an 850 track which does this. It tracks through Erie, Pittsburgh, goes down here through Salisbury, Atlantic City, then passes south like this. Well, what sort of track is that going to do? What area is that going to favor? So we'll want to be looking in this area. Suppose you have a track which does through Pittsburgh to Raleigh, then goes through Atlantic City, Salisbury, then cuts up sharp this way. Who's that going to favor? So you get an idea of which areas can be favored like that. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be cross-influencing, cross-indexing the 850 tracks as I cross through these 3 key areas: 70 degrees longitude, 75, and 80. So that'll be on the matrix. Sure. So And then I didn't get to this one here, but ideally this is your Arctic high position. What you want to see at 60 hours to 24 hours before the event, you want to make sure your main Arctic high, not the neck, the main Arctic high is west of 75-degree longitude and east of 105. So this trapezoid area is really the ideal area here. So there's 75 longitude, everyone knows what that is, goes Hatteras, Philly, New York City, just west of it, goes up this way. So you want to make sure it's west of it. If it's 74, don't email me. All right, this will be also, when we get to the final product here, I'll be doing this as well on a snowstorm checklist. This will be the different regions in here, zones. Of 10 I broke out into different regions here. Originally, I didn't have Richmond, Virginia, and Southeast Virginia area, but I figured it's not, anyway. So, but they may make a couple adjustments to this county, but essentially what I did was I broke in the counties here, and this is going to be the main northeast snowstorm area, and then 10 different regions in here. So I put Philly and New York in the same area. You got to make decisions, you got to draw a line someplace. I may adjust to that as I see fit. This also will be on the website, it'll be on the checklist here. So I'll be using this as well. Okay, and these are the different symbols for dogs. Since I talked about the big dog event, I've been more developed that one. What I'll be doing is I'll be using these different events here, and I'll have different levels of dogs, like a beagle to Chihuahua, different type of events, until finally a big giant dog like these. So this is actual. This is not special. This is an actual dog from China. I don't even know what that is. I mean, is that?
Big dog. Old English sheephound, isn't it?
I looks to me like a Tyrannosaurus. That's a big dog. Now, to have events in here, do you know if these links will click on it? These are actually hyperlinks. We'll click on it, will it work? Yeah. So, I have to use this way? Okay, let's see if this works. How does it click on it? You know, I do just no. What happened?
Get those hit back.
Okay.
And yeah, where's, I don't know. He wants to click.
There it is. There it is. Click on the top.
Yeah.
It must take you there.
Yeah, there you go.
See if it loads up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's internet here.
Oh, I was supposed to. I paid money for it. I'll try one more time.